Welcome everybody that is returning, and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a psychic tarot card reading for you guys today. So please know that my readings are timeless. Whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. Obviously, if you've drawn me into your reality, there's something that I'm going to say that you need to hear that could benefit you. So I hope everybody is having an awesome day. Okay. Before we get started with the reading, welcome J Divine 444. Before we get started with the reading, we're going to talk about the two books that I am basically promoting because I want you guys to be able to get to the same level that I am. I'm not saying that I'm a higher level or anything like that, but I will just explain it this way. My life before the truth of God, I've always been psychic since I was born, always been this way. But, okay, I was kind of trapped. Like before I came across this information, I was being trapped in the psychic realm. And a lot of you guys are experiencing the same thing where it's like hard to get rid of negative energies, entities, whatever. The psychic realm is like all of the stuff that I would say it's like demons. I don't want to just label it demons though. It could be disembodied spirits, astral energies, all of that stuff is psychic realm stuff. The Truth of God is an intuitive workbook. You do not even have to have abilities to develop this part of your connection with God, okay, which is your higher self. You can call it your soul, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's your higher power. You are that. And so there's 3 techniques in this intuitive workbook. First of all, when you get this, the links to these books are in the description box below, but when you get this book is not for everybody. This is for people who are really ready to take that next step in their spiritual journey and who want to spiritually advance to the point where you are not having to rely on, and I love archangels, but you're not having to rely on archangels because you're creating your own reality and taking an active part as being like God for your own reality. Like you create your own reality, basically. We all do with our thoughts and our beliefs, but the thing is that we create the majority of our reality with our subconscious mind. And so the problem with that is those are the thoughts and beliefs that we're not even aware of. So the good thing about the Truth of God, okay, why I'm even talking about this is, that's so funny. I just opened it to the page that says, why don't I feel like God? I'm just going to go ahead and read this part. From a certain perspective, human looking out, time looks linear. Okay. It usually does. I see it more like water, but people look at it linear. There's a beginning and there is an end chronologically. I have learned that from your highest perspective, see chapter 2, the story of God, there is only now. Completely true. If you guys have not read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, I read that when I was 16. Game changer, like really, it was another one of those books that really helped. Also, The Alchemist is another book. It's like a story, but such a good book. Such a good book. So we have had many lives on this planet and others. They're all simultaneously happening. Okay, that's how our higher self is able to manifest. You as God can view them all at once. We choose this kind of life in this kind of setting with these people with this challenge or this natural gift. We go through the process of birth and then start creating without knowing it from that reality. You, God, created a system that at birth, this new subconsciousness, human mind, okay, what I'm talking about basically, would be very connected to your God self, but not connected to the new environment. The more that you acclimate your surroundings, the more it becomes the dominant thought and pattern or of focus, okay? The ability to be connected to God is still there, but it is not fostered to be used, and in some cases can fade away. The ability to be connected is always here. It just needs to be focused upon. That's why what we put our attention on literally is so important, because when we're focusing, if we're focusing on God, which is love, joy, and peace, and happiness and bliss, and all of the other positive energies, we're basically drawing that into our reality. And then that strengthens our connection. And then when we're grateful, oh my gosh, when we're grateful for God, it's like God is so grateful back. It's just such a beautiful process. So it says, what fun would it be to be born with all of our God abilities? Think of it this way. There would be no challenge, no challenges, no contrasts. We would know everything already. This is not what we created this 3-dimensional reality for. We sent ourself here to play this game, but you always left a seed of yourself that if focused upon, would grow, allowing you to remember more and more about yourself. It would draw you like a moth to a flame. You in this game would discover and learn to appreciate your true qualities, unconditional love, joy, compassion, and peace by living and experiencing how good they felt and how bad the contrasting illusional negative emotions felt. Remember that you can live in the knowingness of your true self, God. Live this life growing in those qualities, unconditional love, joy, compassion, and peace, and still have a lot more to experience. You will watch yourself transform into a state of existence that you probably envisioned as what God walking on this earth would be like. Living as God, having this experience is like going to a 3D movie. Once you get into the plot of the movie, you forget about the 3D effects until something happens that make you remember or focus on it again. The 3D effect is like the realization of yourself as God. This is all tying into what we're talking about with this reading of what understanding who you are and why you're here and what you're here to do. The 3D effect is like the realization of yourself as God. But even though you are not focusing on that fact at all times, it doesn't mean that it stops. The 3D effect still continues through the movie, and the fact of you living as God doesn't end when you're not thinking about it. We get so caught up in the plot of the movie of our life, right? Or our life. The movie, you could look at it two ways, a movie or the chronological order of our life. This situation is much like meditation in that once you realize that you are no longer focused on the meditation, but on the outside world, you just refocus inwardly and continue on. Refocusing can be as simple as mentally reminding yourself who you are, which is God. Do we need experiences to happen in the movie or life to remind us to refocus on the 3D or yourself as God? Yes, we do. That is the point of life, to wake up and realize who you spiritually are so that you can transform yourself and transcend and go through an ascension. You didn't descend into the third dimension to just stay stuck here. A lot of people do stay stuck here because they get stuck in reincarnation cycles and they never come to the realization that they are God. But now that you know this information, you can break free of that reincarnation cycle and you can go through an ascension. So this is why Jesus said, I am the Son of God. I am, the King of Kings and stuff like that, because he knew that he was still God when he was here. And I don't know if he said he was the Son of God or people said that, but either way, he knew that he was still God energy. So it says we already have them. They are called negative emotions. So anything that reminds us to refocus on the positive energy would be a negative energy, right? Which it could be a negative emotion or thought. They pop up to show us that we're focusing on not being enough, not being God. God is always enough. So that is just one little chapter in the book, but I felt like I just opened it randomly to that, and that was really important that I read that so you guys could understand. So the techniques that I use every day in this book are the God technique, where you're shifting out of your ego, looking out through the eyes of God, source, so you can see things from a higher perspective, and so that you can be looking out through the lens of unconditional love, and you can gain the perspective that God does. Secondly, the joy versus anger technique. That technique is going to develop a yes and no answering system with God so that you can ask immediate questions and get an immediate answer back. So you're not having to, muscle testing is not as strong as the joy versus anger technique, which develops your intuition. Because if something is good for you, then you will have a joyful response to it. If something is not good for you, it will be the opposite. It could be anger, it could be any of the other negative emotions that remind you to focus on what is real, which is God, okay? And then the third one is the mind technique. Now, the mind technique, everybody's brains, how they have been, their minds, it's like our mind is using us as a tool rather than us using our mind as a tool. So when we start to use the mind technique, we are not only using the tool that is given to us in this physical world called our mind, but we take ourselves out of our mind being the one that's in control. And for those of you that have struggled with mental health or have had just a hard time getting rid of beliefs and stuff like that, the mind technique is going to be extremely valuable, because the mind is only holding on to beliefs because it thinks that it needs to. Once you start questioning those beliefs and you start releasing them, the mind will release them. You will stop pulling in that same situation. And then the reality will it will basically be able to shift and change. And and you don't want to use beliefs, because beliefs colorize your creation. They're the same thing as judgments. They're boxes. It's taking something that could be completely different and putting it in a box. And then that's all that can create in your reality. That's all you're able to see is the boxes that you've created. And if something doesn't fit in a box, then it could be something that you don't like. And so I feel like when you don't have beliefs or expectations, right? I would have a positive expectation that everything always works out for me, but don't be like, I have to get married at 23. I have to have somebody with brown eyes. I have to, all of these weird expectations that we think are necessary things for ourselves. We could find out that the universe has something completely better for us, and then we would never be able to tap into that because we are expecting either the worst, or we're expecting some delusion that we believe in that we need in whatever. And I was just using that, like, it could be even thinking that you have to get married, or thinking that you have to have children, or whatever it is. So beliefs, the sun's going to rise tomorrow, whether you believe it or not. All right. That's the good thing about the universe being stable. So you don't have to believe in the sun rising, and setting. It's going to do that either way. But when you release the beliefs, the universe will create new opportunities for you to experience that are in alignment with God's source: love, joy, peace, unconditional love, compassion, bliss. So this is the truth of God. The link to this book is in the description box below. I suggest that you don't just go to the back of the book where all of the techniques are. I would go through, like, you need to understand the process of you being God and tapping into yourself. This is what you're here to do. Out of every single lifetime you've ever lived, most of us have never come across this information. Okay. And that's just in general. Most of us haven't. This is a starting place. I just opened it to a starting place. Oh, thank you, Fashionista. Awesome. Okay, great. I will answer that question. We're going to talk about this other book. This is the book that I've written. This is called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And all you need to get started with this book is the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck, which I worked with the Spirit Visago and with God and the Holy Spirit to create this book. And it's got different tarot card spreads. I just opened it to the Emperor for each of the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions, so that you can actually start to integrate the archetypal energy of the Emperor, and you get to learn a lot about yourself. So I'm just going to read position 1, the lower ego of the divine masculine archetype. This card will reveal insight into your divine masculine energy. How awakened and enlightened you are may be shown to you in the card for this position. If you're a natural leader, that may show through the card that you pull for this position. Your South Node, lower self ego, is the part of you that is still asleep. If you are stuck in your South Node, the card that you will pull for this position will give insight into how to get unstuck. If you pull the Emperor card for this position, you will know that you are no longer in your South Node. If the card that you pull is a yes card, then you can rest assured that you are balanced in your divine masculine energy. Remember, we hold both divine feminine and divine masculine energies within us. What makes us divine is our ability to free ourselves of karmic energies by healing the self through self-love. So that's just one position. This is going to help you understand yourself, understand how to read the tarot cards, and then the spell. What did I create for the Emperor spell? The spell is an easy manifestation technique that you can use the actual card, in the deck for, and then, you'll have these other things. Most of them, to obtain powers. I love that, right? The Emperor tarot card to obtain powers. So the affirmation for this is, I am the emperor of my own life. I call my power to me and dominate all strife. Okay. And so, yeah, you'll basically do this little ritual, which makes you draw a picture, okay, of yourself. And yeah. And then, so I've also decoded what colors to use for your picture. Like, red means power, divine masculinity. Blue is clearing, cleansing, protecting energies. Yellow is inspirational energy, divine motivation. Orange is relationship with others and with self, I should say. Green is healing, prosperity, and growth. And purple is regal energies or psychic energies. So just little helpful things. This book, the link to that is in the description box below. All right. And all you need to get started with it is the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. Okay. And that is fairly cheap. It's like $6 or $7 on the internet, and it might even be cheaper on Temu. But yeah, so I suggest that you guys look into that. Okay, green is your favorite color. I love that. Such a beautiful, just such a beautiful color. When people would ask me when I was a kid, like, what's your favorite color? I would go, rainbow, literally, because I love all of the colors. But I think indigo is also one of my favorite colors. It's really beautiful. And it's so hard for me to pick one that I like the best. It really is. Okay, so let me look back at your question, Fashionista. What do your angels want you to know about your love life at this time? Awesome. So I'm going to get the Twin Flame Tarot. This is a great one. This is a really good one. I like it because it always gets straight to the energy. So let me just kind of tap in and see, well, what your angels are saying. Okay, so you have like an ancestor. So just to let you guys know, when it comes to ancestors, we have ancestors from like this lifetime, okay, like people that were literally alive before us through our energetic physical bloodline. But then we have other lifetimes on other planets, okay? And we also have other lifetimes on this planet that we go through where we may not be the same melanated skin color that we are right now. So I just want to tell you guys that if you come across an ancestor like what I'm picking up on for you, Fashionista, what I'm picking up on is an ancestor that is African American, and I feel like you may not be that in this lifetime, doesn't mean that you can't have an ancestor that if from another lifetime come through. And so what I'm getting is this is like an Anunnaki energy. Yeah, this is like an Anunnaki ancestor that I'm picking up on. So there's something, let me just see what they're showing me. Okay, so what I just got, the download is like, okay, you go ahead and do whatever you feel. You are 1000% African American. I love it. Okay, awesome. So this makes sense. So the Anunnaki were of every skin color. I'm fairly sure. What I'm getting is that this ancestor is talking about a pattern that you've fallen into in this other lifetime, okay, where you were an Anunnaki. And then I'm also getting that in this lifetime, this pattern's recreating itself. So it's like, it feels like it's a self-blocking pattern. Okay, so in this other lifetime, you lost somebody that you loved. You were like either bound to them or married to them, or they do some type of ritual, the Anunnaki do. It's like a celebration. So it's, what I'm seeing is like an extraterrestrial wedding type thing. You got separated from this person in this other lifetime. What I'm feeling is they died in some type of tragic battle. And what I'm getting now is that there's like an underlying fear of losing people. So that's something that we want to look at, is just the fear of losing people and the fear of losing a lover, a loved one, because before, like, what I'm being shown is that you just basically don't want to bring this fear or this belief into this relationship that comes in, right? Because if you start the relationship being afraid that unconsciously, because this is like a subconscious thing, being afraid subconsciously, well, it could be conscious as well, but it's definitely a subconscious thing. Like, oh, I could possibly lose this person. That's basically colorizing your creation so that all of the other thought, just think about how that one thought could create 1,000 other thoughts that could go behind that could be of fear, right? And so when we're afraid in our relationships to like either love fully because we don't want to lose someone, or we're afraid that we're going to get cheated, or whatever the underlying fear is, we can create thousands of more beliefs that are in alignment with that one core belief. And so what I'm getting is that one core belief, because there's still an emotion that is attached to it. So we're going to go ahead and just release that emotion. I can feel it very strongly that your ancestor was like, tried to get you to understand that this person could come back and show up in another person, but either you didn't believe it or you weren't able to see it. I do feel like in this Anunnaki lifetime that you had, you did end up marrying again, but it was not the same as the first person. It was like taking a second pick, basically. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad that this came up because this is definitely something that I probably am afraid of as well. And yeah, starting a relationship with that fear would be setting it up for something to happen. Not saying that it for sure would, but you just have to know that no matter what in our relationships, there may be a possibility that we do lose somebody because people are only here for a certain amount of time. But knowing that, you know, I don't feel like God is going to bring somebody in. Like this other lifetime was a tragedy because there was a war. I don't feel like you're going to experience that same exact thing in this lifetime. And I feel like believing in the power of yourself as God to be able to manifest somebody, this person, because this person is like, damn, they're sexy. They remind me of Shango, like, but as an Anunnaki, this person is going to be very enlightened. Six of Swords, yeah. So this is just basically leaving behind that, you know, it could be also a fear of being alone, letting go of that, because you're never alone. You really are never alone. You've got ancestors, you know, all over that are always with you. Okay. And God and the Holy Spirit and Jesus, the angels are always with you. They never leave your side. They are like higher dimensional beings in the way that they can be with you, with me, with your mom, with my mom, with everybody at the same time. And so knowing that you leaving behind this old mindset, especially if it's a fear of having to walk your path alone, I feel like that is not what God has for you. That's not what your higher self has intended for this lifetime. So releasing that fear kind of makes me emotional because I can feel the sorrow. Like I can feel the sorrow from that lifetime. And look at this. You releasing this is so dope. You releasing this, just to let you guys know, I think I forgot to say this. If you have any questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question and I will answer your question. But I'm answering Fashionista's question right now. This Six of Wands here is showing me that you leaving behind this mindset is going to give you the victory, which basically means that triumph, reward, recognition, and praise. I feel like the person that you pull in is also going to be somebody that is very highly, like they're very intuitive and they're also very, I want to say spiritually aware or like advanced. Yeah, they have some type of clout. Death. Okay, this is talking about that death in the other lifetime. That is crazy. Okay, so releasing this fear of losing somebody to death, that's what we're going to work on today. Because this is going to help you transition out of, so because I don't want you to start a relationship with somebody with holding on to this old energy. And this is what your angels are saying is going to be the most healthy thing, because knowing that death is a natural process, it's a transition, but it's not a permanent thing. And death is not, it's usually what leads up to death that it could be looked at negative, but death in itself is not negative. So all of us on this planet need to realize that death is an illusion. It's not real. It's literally just like we could look at our lives as a movie, death is just a part of the movie, but it's not something that is a permanent thing. So yeah, you bringing a death to the way of thinking of having that fear of losing somebody. I'm also getting that there could be a fear of somebody coming and taking something from you or taking someone from you. Yeah, because this, you know, you're a very generous, giving person, Fashionista, and this person matches your energy. The one that I'm picking up on, it just feels like your angels want you to work through these past traumas so that this next one is going to be, it's going to be like just completely different. It's going to be really, really good. And I feel like the Six of Pentacles can talk about It can talk about being generous, being charitable. It can also talk about being supportive and sharing. Maybe your love language and this person's language is like gratitude and giving. I feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be in alignment and in common with this person. But I want you to meet this person. Like, you're already in the energy of the Empress. I don't even have to pull that card to know that. I can pick that up right away. I want when you meet like the other people that you've been with, fashionista, how they have not been like, you've been an Empress, but they have been like Knight energies. And so I want you to pull in this person that is equally yoked with you, that has the same energy, the same spirituality, the same intuition. I want to say it's like the gifts that you don't have, this other person's going to have. So when you come together, it's like a uniting. It's like bringing the fullness of God into a relationship. So I also get that this person's love language may be giving. It could be buying gifts. It could be, I feel like this person's going to have a lot of different love languages, and this is going to help you expand on how you express yourself with love languages as well. Because I do feel like you're a giver and you are open to receiving, but you would rather receive like attention, time, dedication, devotion, rather than physical items, right? So that's another thing. If there's any programming to thinking like, I want somebody that has so much money, they're always giving to me and they're always providing for me, remember that you can have that mentality and that belief, but also add in that they are devoted to me, that they are loving to me, that they are kind to me, that they respect my peace, that they are prosperous, and they are wanting to contribute equally. So I feel like you expanding on what you're asking the universe for right now. Yeah, your angels are saying to bring it out and look at it from a more spiritual perspective, so that when you're making your list of everything you want in a person, yes, you are a huge giver. I totally agree. And you want somebody that equally gives back to you, and not just in a way of, oh, let me try to make up with you by buying you a gift. Not like that. Like, you've already had that situation. And so I feel like, yeah, you want somebody that's a hard worker, that's a giver, that's in alignment with where you're going as well. Somebody that's not going to want you to revert into an old stereotype. I'm also hearing that, the Anunnaki, they do calculations, like mathematical calculations. Okay. I know this sounds weird, but whether I'm being shown from your ancestor is that they have some type of technology that can do mathematical calculations when people want to get married or united like that. They plug their information into some type of some type of technology, and it gives a report out about how you guys would be aligned. And then there's certain like trials and tests that they go through, like you guys going into the wilderness and surviving for a week or something like that. Like, it could be something completely different, but there's certain tests that they go through together. And when those tests are passed, then they can become eligible to be married. And that's what I'm feeling like the human race, when it comes to our relationships, the reason that marriages don't work out is if we would have had these previous tests and this type of technology that the Anunnaki possess, we would be able to find out who was actually in alignment with us. And then we would have an opportunity to go into certain situations to see if we could survive with that person. And so that's the benefit of this other lifetime, that you passed all of these tests with this person and you guys learned how to work with each other. And I feel like this lifetime, it's not that it's a disadvantage, but it's just that you basically start a relationship with somebody, and then the tests and trials and tribulations come in and you learn how to work with that person, where before nothing is like set in stone until you pass, I would call them like initiations, till you pass the initiations. And everything from like getting married, getting engaged, to like having children, they have to go through an initiation. And if they don't pass it, it doesn't get approved. So what I'm feeling is that You know, these past relationships that you've had, the same type of initiations or similar to them have come in, and these people that you've been with in the past have not passed. We want you to pull in, we, me, God, your ancestors want you to pull in somebody that has the ability to be as strong as you. You know what I mean? Like to be as strong as you, as strong-willed, as determined, and as focused, okay? Two of Pentacles, as balanced as you are, balancing resources, adaptability, flexibility. And then when the initiations come in, you guys will grow stronger together, because it's like there are certain initiations that each relationship will go through. Trust, faithfulness, and I don't know why it's set up that way, but it just is. I mean, the way the Anunnaki are just showing me, the way that their society is, it's much more structured on control and knowing genetic outcomes. Like they're not taking any type of chances, where relationships on this planet, we're all taking chances. Like, especially because we can't really do genetic, well, to some degree, if you have a lot of money, you can go get genetic testing done to see what your genetics and their genetics would create. But like how the Anunnaki have this technology, it would benefit our planet so much if we had that same technology. So just know that, you know, in your higher self is wanting somebody to come in that can pass these lifelong initiations with you, and somebody that's going to be a long-lasting relationship, because I feel like you don't like to waste your time with people. And that I feel the same way. Like I really do. I feel the same way. I've never been somebody that's dated a lot of people, and so I can't speak of what that is like, but I can tell you that I am somebody that's been in very long-lasting committed relationships, and I feel like when one of those initiations or karma, tribulations, however you look at it, comes into the relationship and it causes a relationship to end, that is a major loss, because of it's a loss in my sight, because and even that is flawed, because everything is a learning situation. But to me, it seems like a waste of time and energy when we're thinking that we could have been with somebody else. But we just have to take into accountability that all of the previous experiences that we've had when it comes to love have happened for a certain reason, so that we can basically learn about what we want in life. Because Eight of Wands, fast movement. This is looks like a race car track to me. So balanced and fast movement, quick decisions, sudden progress. I feel like when it comes to you, fashionista, you don't like to make very quick, was it the word hasty? You like to take your time making decisions. I think that this person that comes in is going to be the same way. So yeah, we're just releasing anything from the past that could be a wound or a block, and we're calling in your higher self to heal that, because even though you lost that person that was like literally scientifically proven to be perfect for you, like numbers and in real life, I feel like that person is on this planet. And so it's just a matter of you being able to pull them in. But if there's a fear of losing that person, then it could either take longer, or it could just be harder. I'm also getting that you need to be trusting yourself as God, your connection, more than the imaginary God on a throne. Ace of Wands, creativity, passion, new initiative, and inspiration. This person is going to inspire you. And so I feel like what you're going through is it's almost a battle with time, because it's like you're getting impatient, which is so normal. Just know that it's normal. I would feel the same way too if I was like, okay, and then more things come up that I need to heal. But look at it this way. If you do the healing work and are patient with the process of drawing in this person, you're going to be so much happier, because you don't want all of these unhealed wounds to be present when you start a relationship that could self-sabotage that relationship. So it's actually doing you a solid, the universe, by bringing these things up so that you can heal it, so that if something were to happen in the future, not saying that it would, but when this person comes in, you will have healed these old wounds, and so you don't have to repeat a cycle. And that's what your ancestor is saying, is that cycle of losing people, and maybe you outlived your second spouse on that, in that lifetime as well. But yeah, There's also a belief about outliving somebody. That's okay to outlive somebody. Just think of it this way. When you fall in love with somebody that's good for you, just be grateful for whatever time the universe gives you. That's probably all we can do because we can't control this situation otherwise. Seven of Pentacles. This person, look at that beautiful little flower. You're going to be actually able to plant with this person and grow with them. And so I love this. Harvest and resources. There's a lot of this that's talking about money. So this is why I was picking up that you do want somebody that has money, that has their shit together, basically, that can grow with you. But you also want somebody that's very devoted. Progress, patience. It says patience on the card. Remember, when you plant a seed and you grow something, you have to wait. You have to basically let the rain water it, unless you have a self-watering system. But you have to water it and allow the sun to do what the sun's going to do with planning and focus so that it can grow and the plant can then blossom. And for you to get fruit from the plant, just think about how much watering, how much love and care goes into a seed to turn it into a plant. Like, seriously, I forget the amount, but it's like so much amount of water that goes into making a watermelon, just one watermelon. So think of it that way, that you're planting these seeds for your future. And by you focusing on, this is why I tell people when it comes to love, well, actually, when it comes to anything, make a list. But when you make this list, make categories, spirituality, all right, write everything that you want spiritually that this person to be into. Write physical things that you're attracted to. Write career things. It's really important to define what's going to fit your situation the best that you already know about. Like somebody working, in the same city as you, somebody working, 4-10s or 9 to 5 or something that goes good with your schedule. I feel like you're more open, but you don't want somebody that works all night. So be specific in the sense that on the things that you do know that you want, that's going to fit your personal situation. And then when you make this list, this is why I say to do this, because this is what I did. Okay. And who told me to do this? I don't remember who told me to do this. I think that I got this idea from a vision board that I did when I was in therapy, and it worked. And I was like, holy shit, I did not believe that the vision board would work. But what I ended up doing was I made this list of all of the qualities and characteristics that I felt like I deserved and that I wanted and that I needed in somebody for a relationship to work. And I made that list. I forgot about the list. I drew somebody in, and then that person was everything on the list except for one thing that I asked for, which was them being a billionaire. And now I see that why that person was not a billionaire is because that would not have been for my highest and best good. Because, not to say that there's nothing wrong with being a billionaire, but just for me personally, money is a big responsibility. When being wealthy and being a billionaire, that's a big responsibility. And I didn't need that. That's not something that I needed. It's something that I felt like I needed, but it's not actually something that I needed. That's why beliefs can be such cock blockers sometimes. So anyway, so he was everything on that list except for that one thing. And even that, he still, had money and stuff. He had more than enough. So it's basically, I forgot about that list, but when I found it and I looked at it, I was like, I literally manifested everything that I wanted. So make a list and write everything that you want down. Don't put anything on that list that's like, I don't want him this, I don't want that. Okay, put only what you want. And the things that you feel are the most important. I don't think it's necessary to get super specific. You don't have to be like, I want them to have a job at Costco. I'm just making this up. But like, I want them to have a job at Costco. I want them to be a lawyer. You don't have to be that specific. You just be like, I want them to be stable. I want them to work a schedule that aligns with my schedule, so that we can have time together. I want them to have paid vacation. I want them to live in the same city as me. If you're into animals, I want them to have a dog, or I want them to be not allergic to pets, like that type of thing. Like, I would say I want them to be in alignment with dogs, in alignment with cats, whatever you have. And or whatever you think you want to have. Or also, this is such an important one. I want them to have children, or I'm okay with them having children, or I want to have children. That's always one that people will get into a relationship and then sometimes realize that, oh, this person's got a kid. Well, now I have to be a step parent. And then they'll be like, well, I didn't really want that. Or they'll be like, this person wants children and I don't know if I really want that. So yeah, you want it all to align. And I feel like the Anunnaki had a heads up better than we do because they had the technology to just plug everybody's information in and see who matched. But since we don't have that, we just have to work with the natural laws of the universe. But yeah, so what I'm seeing that you're creating here is basically leaving behind, like you're going to be victorious, leaving behind the fear of death. Okay. Because all death is a transition, a transformation, the fear of losing somebody to death, or the fear of you even passing away. I mean, I don't get that is going to happen at all. But the Six of Pentacles, also somebody being very generous and giving to you, but also being very devoted. You can be generous in many different type of ways, not just with finances and gifts and presents, but you could be generous with your time, your attention, good listening skills, good communication. And then the Two of Pentacles, which is another important thing to you, which is balancing resources, being flexible and adaptable. That's also extremely important to you. And you do want something that's a fast moving relationship, but I'm going to tell you that not all relationships are meant to go to marriage. They don't have to. Sometimes you can release the need to marry somebody and have a fulfilling lifelong partnership with somebody without having all of the bondage that comes with marriage. And so if this person's not open to marriage and you still fall in love with them, don't think that you have to bend to society's will. Marriage is a construct and institution of the government created to manipulate and dominate women. It just is. Like, it really is. So do I think it's necessary? I was married. I will never ever do that again. No. For me, no. But that's just my own personal journey. Everybody is going to be different. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to get married or not wanting to get married. It's just your personal preference. Then I see with the Ace of Wands, the creativity, passion, that's going to be there. This person's going to be very creative. New initiative and inspiration. This person could be somebody that likes to work on projects. Maybe they're somebody that spends their time in the garage building things. They like to redecorate houses. This person is a very active person. That would be another thing. Them having sexual stamina, being sexually compatible, chemistry compatible, and being motivated, right? And then I see with the Seven of Pentacles, harvest and rewards, results and growth, progress, patience, planning, and focus, being able to grow something together. So these are all really important things to you that are popping out so far. And I feel like, yeah, when you fine tune this list, there's going to be a shift that occurs, and it's going to be better for you to release and heal any past trauma stuff from any other relationships by fine-tuning what you want and what you desire by fine-tuning it. It's going to be a lot better to heal before you just get into another relationship. Hierophant. Yeah, because I pick up that this person is going to be the same type of traditional belief. Maybe they grew up around hoodoo or something like that. I know hoodoo is like pretty much a closed practice, but this person could have had some type of intuitive training is what I want to say. Traditional higher learning and beliefs. This is like you being able to come together and you guys have things that are really in common. I also get that the Hierophant card, the Hierophant, the High Priestess. Yes, this person's going to be deeply intuitive. Okay. They may not call themselves that, but they are a very intuitive person. Hidden knowledge, mysterious. So the High Priestess and the Hierophant, that to me feels like somebody that's very highly spiritual. Yeah, I think defining if you want children or not, or if you want somebody that has children or not, that's important here. That's what I'm literally picking up. Because, yeah, it depends on the person that you want to be with. If they've got kids, that's going to be something that you need to just look at and see if that's something that you want. Empress. I knew that you were going to come out as the Empress. So the Empress, the High Priestess, and the Hierophant, yeah, you're very highly ranked in the spirit. So it feels to me like the universe wants to give you somebody that's compatible, but there's just old beliefs that are still trying to create a reality where you draw in a certain type of person that may not be for your highest and best good. So let me get one more card, and then we'll see what else they have to say. 8 of Cups. Yeah. Walking away, letting go, and leaving behind the old belief system. Sometimes we experience the same love situation over and over again because we don't change our beliefs on what we are attracted to. And so we think that we're attracted to the bad boy or this and that. And then we end up finding out that we really want somebody that's nice. The bad boy does not serve us. So yeah. Also, if there's a fear of being left by somebody, like somebody walking away from you, I would release that. That's something that needs to be healed as well. So it's good that we're talking about this because I'm not getting a time frame on when somebody's going to come in. I'm just being shown the steps that you're taking and what you're focusing on and where it's going to basically leave you. Yeah. So walking away from the devil, you walked away from somebody that was very demonic, like you really did. And so this energy of this person being obsessed and stuff, just know that that's probably you're only going to experience somebody like that probably once. And you experienced this person before you knew everything about yourself spiritually. So you got to give yourself a break on this person from the past, not drawing them back in because that person was codependent on you. So we want to phrase it as somebody that is independent, that can be financially and spiritually independent, socially independent. Okay, those are all things that you could write on your list. Emperor. See, this is what I'm saying. The Emperor just so do not give up, okay? Keep working on yourself, keep healing. The Emperor just came out. The fact that the Emperor is next to the devil shows me that, you had somebody that was stuck in their south mode. There's still a fear bound to this old person from the past. This is your ex, basically. When you release that, this Emperor, this divine masculine is going to be able to come in. And I feel like it's fine-tuning, releasing whatever perspective you held of what you were attracted to, and allow yourself to just kind of, make sure that you don't respond to it. Make sure that you are taking actions to go out places to meet people, and that if people are asking you out, like to go on a date or to hang out, that you're not just shutting them down and going into hermit mode. Because the one thing that I'm getting is that you've been in hermit mode for a minute, and if you continue to stay only in hermit mode, then you won't open yourself to new experiences. And the good thing about being in hermit mode is it's giving you this extra time to heal everything from the past situations, like past lives and all of that type of stuff, and fears and beliefs that have been creating the reality that you've seen so far. So that's the blessing of being in hermit mode. But getting out of hermit mode is going to give you the ability to meet somebody and to draw a partner in. And I feel like you are loving yourself. You're doing everything right. Just reframe, what is it? Reframe. Not refrain, but reframe. Like, in school on the piece of paper, they would tell us to do, I forget what it's called. It's like some type of diagram where you do one circle and then you do a circle, another circle, and another, and there's one circle that's in the middle. So you do a circle for you, a circle for them, and then all of the things that you have in common. And then the stuff that's in the middle could be the things that both of you guys could contribute together. You have been in hermit mode, yeah. You recently met someone a few days ago? Yay! Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So this is really good that we're talking about all of that, because literally go out with this person. Start talking with them, because I feel like, it's time to get out of hermit mode, and it's time to step into your life. Truly. This is so exciting. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And just remember remember the thing with red flags. Okay. There could be people that you end up dating or coming across that have only one red flag. Like, people can change. Don't put it like, oh, if I see one red flag, I have to walk away. Because I do get that you get really quick to cut somebody off. Just know that if you see multiple red flags, then that would be a huge red flag. But if there's one thing that you don't like about somebody, and it could be something really like something that they're not in control of, then look at what it is that you're believing about the situation, because there may be opportunity for that to open up and to shift, and so it's all beliefs. Look, I just cut the deck on the Hermit. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Yay, I am so happy for you. Okay, so we're going to go back to the collective reading. Just remember, you guys, if any of you have any questions, you can always send me a $20 super chat and I will answer your question. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, you were about to cut him off for one issue. Yeah. So I would literally look at what you're believing about the issue, release that, and then see if it still bothers you, because you may be able to get past that issue. Unless the issue is like this person's married, that would probably be an issue. Yes, your cutoff game is so real, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, we can't expect everybody to be perfect. I mean, you obviously have it all going for yourself, but we can't expect everybody else to be perfect. And so it's like finding the balance between not settling and still being able to have everything that you want and that you need. And it just depends on what the issue is. If the issue is like changeable or not, you know what I mean? Some people will be like, if that person snores, cut them off. Like, really, I think the things that would be like to cut somebody off would be if they were abusive or toxic or broke or broken, okay? But, or married or something like that. And even if they're married, now you could meet somebody that's still like a twin flame and they could get unmarried. They could get divorced. You know what I mean? So just know that making that list, and then when you are around that person and you get to know them, if they are that person that's on that list, then you will know that you have drawn in somebody that is going to be for your highest and best good. Since we don't have the technology that the Anunnaki have, that's probably the best that we can do with the universe. Wow. I love you so much. I'm so happy for you, though. That's so amazing. Yay. I've been praying. I'm like, it'll happen, because you're trusting the universe and you're also trusting yourself, which is really beautiful. Beautiful process. Okay, so let's see. 4 of Swords. Interesting. I love this, you guys. You're so welcome. I always love answering your questions. They're amazing. You have such good questions. And they really do help the collective. So just know that every time you ask a question, you're helping other people that are going through the same thing. So the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords to me is like, it could be just the end of a fight, the end of a battle, the end of psychic warfare, you guys. I feel like psychic warfare only really exists when we need to learn, like it's to me, when psychic warfare exists, it's to cause an awakening. That's the way that I see it. And other than that, it's basically pointless, because there's not some type of spiritual war really going on. Like, people believe that there's a war between the devil and God and whatever. No, everything is subservient to God. Like, even though everything has free will, everything is still working for God, whether we know it or not. All of us are. And so even by the people that are doing the bad things are causing the situations that will cause somebody to go within and gain access to God. So that's how God will use everybody in its own way. And I don't think God's a man or a woman. I think it's something other than that. But I will say he, because I'm trying to meet people where they're at with their beliefs. But I do get that this is a break in some type of fighting. And this is for you guys to acknowledge and understand that you are under spiritual warfare, but that that time where that was a lesson you needed to go through. Like, I think spiritual warfare happened to me because, well, it happened for me so I could learn how to pray, how to get connected, how to basically clear energy, defend myself, tap into source. That's why I think that it happened. And other than that, it's all stuff that's trapped in the psychic realm. That's what spiritual warfare is. It's psychic bullshit. There's a lot of people that will use the Bible to curse. people. I mean, there are very powerful curses in the Bible. And so the problem that I have with Christians that do that type of shit, which I would consider that to be hoodoo practice, because hoodoo is kind of like using the Bible for an alternative motive other than just reading it to learn. But my issue with Christians is they have a problem with anybody that's got a psychic ability, anybody that can see the future, anybody that can talk to spirits. They have a problem with anybody that has any amount of spirituality. They label it demonic, and they just label it the way that, I mean, Jesus was an ancestor. Like, how can our ancestors be demons? That's saying Jesus is a demon. And people don't realize, like, they're just repeating shit that was written in the Bible over and over again. But that, if the Bible created real relationships with the divine, do you think people would be going around doing spiritual warfare? No. Okay. A lot of the spiritual warfare happens because we have the Bible. And remember, the Bible is a compilation of only the stories that a pope at some time decided could be included. There are so many different texts that are very important, like the Book of Enoch, that explain all of this other time that passed and all of these other situations. And it's not included in the Bible because it doesn't fit the agenda that the Bible has, okay? To make Jesus a martyr and to make Jesus a virgin and all of these things that, from my perspective of looking at this situation, I do not see it the same way. However, I do not condemn people for what they practice and what they believe. I think everybody has their own perspective. This is why when people don't like you, then they don't like your belief system, they will start spiritual warfare. And I feel like that spiritual warfare is only allowed to happen so that you could go within and resolve it and start making that connection. That's what God wants for all of us, to go within and make that divine connection. The people that are doing the spiritual warfare, they do this stuff because they could easily, instead of focus on you guys, focus on themselves. Like, the spells that I've written for Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells are all about the self. It's about evolving and helping the self and manifesting love with the self. It has nothing to do with other people. But I guess that's just not as people need to be more interested in what is happening for them, what's for them, than what's for somebody else. And that's why I feel like a lot of pointless psychic and spiritual warfare happens, like psychic attacks and stupid stuff, is because people are focused on other people instead of focusing on themselves. And so this person, they're being basically, by this fight being over, because that does look like a funeral, but this person's not passing away. And they just can't fight with you anymore in the spirit. They're like literally blocked. Anything that they say or do is null and void, this person. And so they were only allowed to do this to you and for you, okay, for you to have an awakening. That's why this person did this stuff, so that you could go through an awakening. Now that you've awakened, it's not going to be allowed because there's no reason for it. Why would you continue to have to defend yourself just because you believe different? People will literally try to condemn you for being a psychic, for being spiritual, for believing in chakras, for understanding energy, for having your own connection to God, because it's something that they don't have and don't understand. And that's what you guys need to know, is that Jesus could see the future. I mean, Jesus could walk on water. I can't walk on no water, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I am psychic. I can see the future. Does that make me a witch, a warlock, or an evil person? No, it does not. You know, having abilities in my bloodlines, does that make me bad? No, it does not. But we all have free will, what we're going to do with those gifts and abilities. This person chooses to abuse theirs. That's why they're being blocked. And they also keep going to Psalm 109. Psalm 109 has a lot of really, really, I don't know who wrote the Psalm, because we don't know who wrote all of the Psalms, but that one specifically is very mean. It's very evil. I would call it evil because it's like curse your children, their children after that, and make their wives a widow, and all of this really, really horrific shit. Okay. So like, somebody keeps going to that specific Psalm and trying to use that against you, and it's blocked. Because whoever this person is, they're trying to do some type of hoodoo, and they're using Bible scriptures, but that they don't necessarily like. This person would try to hold you to a perfection, a labeled manufactured, man-made, manufactured, man, not woman-made, not human-made, man-made, manufactured perfection that the Bible holds, rather than accepting you to just be who you are. And it's because you make this person feel uncomfortable because they feel like they have to fit that mold that the Bible has created or humanity has created. Okay. And remember, the one that wrote the King James Bible, he was a demonologist, which there's nothing wrong with demonology. As long as you're working with God, you'll be safe. But like, he was a demonologist. He was also a homosexual, King James. Okay. He hated women. So he was the one that made the first English Bible. He did do people a service, but at the time when he created it, half of his people in his country couldn't even read. Three of Wands. This is talking about somebody being upset with your creative vision, with your point of view, because it breaks the mold that they hold. And so this is why you understanding who you are, why you're here, what you're here to do, to experience yourself as being God, creating your own realities with your thoughts and your beliefs, and being able to actually use your mind like the tool that it is, rather than your mind using you to create and manifest everything. Because the way it is naturally is like our subconscious mind is just creating everything with thoughts and beliefs from the past. But you are taking an active part in an active role in your own creation, and you're working on healing the parts of you that could be insecure, or that could just be, I don't want to even say damage, because that's an illusion, but you could just have pains from the past. This person was trying to inflict a lot of sorrow onto your life by using Psalm 109. In fact, I think I'm going to look up Psalm 109 so you can understand what this person was trying to do. Because this is the type of shit that they're on. Anytime somebody pisses this person off, or they feel like insecure or whatever, they go straight to this psalm, and they think that they're righteous to do this, but what the hell is wrong with them? It says, hold not thy peace, O God of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. You did not do any shit to this person like this, but they're trying to use this against you. No. Okay. For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. You didn't do that. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. This is what this person was trying to do. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. That's evil right there. Holy shit. Let his day be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of the desolate places. Let the extortioner catch all that he hath, and let the stranger spoil his labor. This is so not cool to try to do to somebody. Let there be no one to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any favor to his fatherless children. That's horrible. Nobody deserves that. Holy shit. Let his posterity be cut off. That's like basically cutting somebody's balls off. And in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. Okay, kind of severe. For you not doing anything at all to this person, kind of severe. Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before the Lord continually, that they may cut off the memory of them from the earth. Because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and the needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. And he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delighted not in blessings, so let it be far from him. As he clothed himself with cursing, like as with his garment, so let it come into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. That is cursing somebody straight up. That fucking verse 18, that shit right there is not cool. That is a curse. It says, let it be unto him as the garment which covereth him, and for a girdle wherewith he is girdled continually. Let this be the reward of mine adversaries from the Lord, and of them that speak evil against my soul. But do thou for me, O God the Lord, for thy name's sake, because thy mercy is good, deliver thou me. For I am poor and needy, and my heart is wounded within me. I am gone like the shadow when it declineth. I am tossed up and down like a locust. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh faileth of fatness, whatever the hell that means. I became also a reproach unto them when they looked upon me and shaked their heads. Help me, O Lord my God, O save me according to thy mercy. Why this person thinks that God should save them but condemn you, that is not cool, okay? That's not cool. That's not how God operates. But again, this is just a psalm, part of the Bible. This is the part that they were using against you. It says, help me, O Lord, Lord my God, O save me according to thy mercy, that they may know that this is thy hand, that God has done this. Let them curse, but bless thou. When they arise, let them be ashamed, but let thy servant rejoice. Let mine adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion as with a mantle. I will greatly praise the Lord with my mouth. Yeah, I will praise him among the multitude, for he shall stand at the right hand of the poor to save him from those that condemn his soul. That's the psalm that somebody was trying to use against you. And it's not working, first of all. Secondly, I think that whoever wrote that was basically writing a curse. Welcome in, you guys. Like, that's crazy. To wish that on somebody else. Yeah, 8 of Wands in the reverse. This person does not understand that this is a bad time for them to make any type of major life decision. They need to stick to whatever they were doing and stand by that. That's what I feel, because this person is going to have to answer for saying all those evil words that I just said in the Psalm 109 and continually without having any just cause trying to say that against you. That's what was causing spiritual warfare. That's why the Bible is a powerful book, but it can be used to curse just as much as it can be used to bless. And so it's just talking about how situations have a way of working themselves out. Too many factors are pending to conclude a project. This person thought that they were going to finish you, seal the last, nail in the coffin, and that you would be done for. And you're over here creating a new future for yourself, watching your ships come in, visualizing what you want and your outcome, and it does not align with what this person has been trying to create. And so you are basically protected is what I'm seeing. But the reason that you experienced the warfare at all was so that you could awaken to your higher self, your higher purpose, and to get into alignment so that this type of stuff, when you're focused on loving yourself, this type of stuff you'll pick up on it empathically, but it will not dominate and control your life. Now, if you had done something horrible to this person, maybe that psalm would have worked, but you never did anything to them. You triggering this person to heal is the best thing that's ever happened to them. They just can't see it that way. You're showing up as the emperor right off the bat, mastering your own emotions. This person could have been trying to seriously provoke you. I feel like people need to use some tact and some class when dealing with others and show some grace and mercy, especially if they want that same grace and mercy that they're not showing anybody else. People need to really start being more graceful and merciful unto others. You know, when it comes to, especially all you did was offend this person, and it wasn't even with you doing anything to them. They were offended because they don't feel enough in themselves, and they don't feel like they have any of the traits that you do, and so it triggers them because they feel like they're behind, they're being left behind, that they're not favored, they're not chosen. But then in the other hand, they're using the Bible as some type of ritual book to hurt people. And this person goes straight to Psalm 109. If like this person could literally get cut off in traffic and just a normal life experience, and they'll go straight to Psalm 109 on that person. And that's sending a lot of negative energy. That's putting a lot of negative intentions to destroy people and their lineages for no fucking reason. This person has to walk away from this. And again, I don't want to label it as hoodoo. Let me just ask what the definition of hoodoo is. I thought hoodoo was it's an African tradition of African American, this is what I think, but I don't know, I'm going to Google it, that uses the Bible in a way that, definition of hoodoo. It uses the Bible, a religion practiced in parts of the Caribbean and the southern United States, and characterized by sorcery and spirit possession, voodoo. Okay, I would not have called it that. See, I thought that it had to do with the Bible, and that's what I thought it was. But the word hoodoo, I guess a verb for it could be bewitch, says that's weird. Okay, so it does have to do with spirit conjure, but maybe there is some Bible use. Let me just ask. Do people use the Bible in hoodoo practices?
Yes, people use the Bible in hoodoo practices. They view it as a powerful tool for spells, protection, and guidance, incorporating specific verses and Christian symbols. Practitioners use scripture for things like divination, blessings, and creating charms for various needs.
So there it goes right there. It says protection and guidance incorporating specific psalms, verses, and Christian symbolism as a part of its syncretic, I don't know if I said that word right, blend with African traditions. That's what I thought it was doing. Even though it's rooted in folk magic rather than mainstream Christianity, practitioners use scripture for divination, blessings, curses, and general spiritual work, seeing the Bible itself as a potent talisman or source for creating charms and rituals for various needs, from healing to love. Okay, so that is what I was picking up on. This person's dissatisfied because whatever they're doing is not working. I feel like for some of you, this person that was using hoodoo is not even, they're not, and this, again, my beliefs are just different because this person could have been African American in another life. I'm not really picking up on that. But for some of you, this person is a white person that's trying to use African stuff, which, again, it's all about your intention and your connection. If you have not just genetic, but an ancestral spiritual connection to that type of thing, then I think you'd be fine, as long as you're not hurting and harming people, as long as it's just to help the self. But this person's they're picking up somebody else's practice because it's not their practice. They're picking up somebody else's practice and they're trying to use it in a negative way. That's what I feel there's a problem with that. People doing stupid shit like that. For me, I love African deities and I respect them, but do I call on them to curse people? No, I do not. I don't do no shit like that. If I needed advice from one of them, I would ask them, but I don't feel like they are beings that need to be used like that. Okay. I don't feel like any spiritual being should be used like that. I don't even think the Bible should be used like that. Like I said, this person needs to carry through with whatever plan that they had, because they don't have a plan B. I feel like this person was really, really, really getting revved up with their self-righteousness on how they were going to be able to destroy you with the Bible. Literally take something from you, make you not able to be helping to others. This person was trying to use the Bible to destroy you because your belief system is different. Maybe you don't believe in the Bible. There are people that don't believe in the Bible. There's nothing the fuck wrong with that. Bible was written by a bunch of humans anyways that created the Bible with the intent to create laws for people. Okay, so there are lots of things that different traditions believe in that I don't personally believe in, because my ability shows me what it shows me. So there are some things I just can't get behind, like using the Bible to curse people. I just can't really, my spirit doesn't allow me to get behind that, because I don't feel like that is going to help anyone. But when I look at it from the eyes of source, I can see that the reason it's allowed to happen is so that it forces you, that negative energy being sent to you, that intention forces you to go within and get into alignment. That's literally why I see that spiritual warfare is even allowed at all. Other than that, it's breaking universal laws. 6 of Pentacles. This person is broke. They have to walk away from trying to make you, remember what it said, a vagabond. Make them and their children vagabonds, which I think is somebody that has to travel all the time. I don't know. They don't have a home or something. Let's find out what that means, because I think that's significant. Definition of the word vagabond. A person who wanders from place to place without a home or job. That's what they wanted for you. What the hell? Absolutely not. They wanted you to be this beggar, and they thought that the Bible was going to assist them to do that. Maybe this person has put other people in poverty with the Bible before, but the only reason that was allowed to happen was because the person they were attacking was actually not living right. You guys are in alignment. You're living right. You're doing the right thing. You're loving yourselves, and you're choosing to continue to heal and grow and move forward, and you're choosing love, joy, and peace, the essence of God. That's your conscious decision to feel good every day. This person wakes up with a hateful heart, with a grudge inside of them, feeling not pretty enough, not young enough, not this enough, not that enough. This person has a problem with not feeling enough. The essence of God is enough. It is. It just is. What we actually are is enough. And that's, you are in the alignment with being and feeling like you're enough. This person wants you to be concerned over your self-worth, feeling like you're not enough. Okay. They don't want you to doubt yourself. Welcome everybody coming into the chat. This person wants you to doubt yourself. You are an emperor. You are the leader. Okay. These people, they follow you. And this person's uncomfortable with that because they think that everybody should be following this mythological created version of perfection that the Bible has attempted to manifest. But the Bible says, oh, seeing the future is bad. Oh, talking to a spirit is bad. Oh, understanding an angel is bad. What did Jesus do? Miracles. He could see the future. He knew things. How is that bad? The Bible condemns the very thing that it supports. This is why I feel like it is just a bunch of bullshit contradictory information. I feel like out of all of it, the book of Psalms is probably the best thing. But remember, that Psalm came from the book of Psalms. So it's like, you just have to understand that people are using this stuff as a ritual. And when things start to, this person does not understand that they're not in alignment for financial success because they don't believe in themselves. They don't understand this though. Like they are looking at you and seeing you being beautiful, seeing you being attractive, seeing you be happy, seeing you get what you want, you having gifts and abilities, you being special. This person is looking at you through the eyes of you being everything that they're not. And so that's why they have a problem and they're triggered. And other than that, because you've never said anything, you've never done anything to this person to make them feel like they would need to go do that, like try to destroy you like that. That's not cool. This person just doesn't want any competition. And they need to stop looking at life like everything is a competition when nothing is a competition. Like maybe the Olympics is a competition, but you and this person are not in the Olympics. Okay. So there is no competition. King of Swords. And think of it this way as well. A competition that's a real competition like the Olympics has a chronological timeline. It begins at this point and it ends at this point. After that actual Olympic ceremony, whatever you want to call it, games, whatever it is over, then there's no real competition because the competition is done. This person, they don't understand that you are never their competition, okay? They don't understand that. This person is going to be very harshly judged. They could be somebody that's a very harsh judge on other people. Reading that psalm is like, that's somebody that thinks that they're deserving and you are not, okay? Because they, and this is a fake ass person. They're fake. I don't know if they pretend to be a Christian, but this person, they are a people pleaser and they force themselves to do things that they don't want to do all of the freaking time. All right. And you don't do that. So this person feels like you're a problem because you're not going to be fake and go into being somebody that you're not to please other people or to look a certain type of way. And because you won't fit into the box that their perception of God created, they feel that they can judge you and hurt and harm you and end you for that. I don't think so. You're not somebody that's sitting over here using the Bible to try to kill people or make their children fatherless and motherless and whatever fucking nonsense that shit said. You don't hold no intention like that. This is why your life is sweet. Okay? Literally, this is why I was saying at the beginning, if people would just focus on their own lives instead of focusing on others, you're not actually a problem. This person should be grateful that you came into their experience so that they could see all of the things that they're not, see all of the ways that they are trapped mentally. You have blessed this person by triggering them, okay? And this person is like borderline possessed the majority of the time. And so they don't have a genuine connection to a higher self. Like when I was reading from the Truth of God at the beginning, how if you ignore the spiritual connection and don't do anything to develop that at all throughout your lifetime, it could basically fade away. It doesn't ever mean that it stops. It just means that it's harder to tap into because it's not used. That's why meditation is literally like taking your mind to the gym and doing squats or sit-ups or pull-ups or whatever. lifting weights. This King of Cups, it was in the upright, but it flipped out in the reverse. So this person is not there. They have listened to another person who is manipulative, just like them, who basically either told them this great idea of using Psalm 109 to hurt people, or was like literally, this person could be like a pastor or some shit like that. I think that people that are idolizing this Christianity bullshit, or even doing hoodoo where they're trying to harm somebody, it's like they need to stop. Okay, they need to stop. Sinners there were not perfect people that followed Jesus. What is that saying of like, uh whoever is without sin cast the first stone? Okay, you would never throw a rock at nobody. This person loves to throw rocks and hide their hand and then cry wolf, like you did something. All right. This King of Cups in the reverse is a secretive, elusive man who is plotting against you. This person is manipulative, openly bigoted, and narrow minded. This is what I'm talking about with the Bible and how it fucks people's brains up. And it makes them, like I watched this video of this pastor. I don't know which country it was from, but some pastor. And this young girl comes out and is like, this pastor has been sexually abusing me for the past 5 years. And the pastor admits to it. And instead of the people like being like, repent, like having a problem with that, they went, oh, it must be demonic. It must be demons. We need to pray for the pastor. No, I would have beat the ever loving shit out of the pastor to make sure that they knew deep down inside themselves that abusing underage children sexually is not acceptable. I would have beat the fucking demon out of that dumbass, literally. But people are idolizing these people because they hold a title as pastor, when these people are clearly using witchcraft and abusing the Bible to get to where they're at. And so that's what this person is doing. It says, that people lose their money to this person, whoever this fake preacher, whatever, pastor, I don't know what to call it, but preacher, pastor, what are the other things in the churches where men have power? It says that you may lose your virtue, innocence, or money through this man. This person is like an extortioner. Do not trust this person with your heart or your possessions. Just be aware that this judgmental prick, okay, that is telling this other person that they're righteous in attacking you, because you're different than them. This person does not follow any of God's laws, but they seem to professionally work in a spiritual setting. Okay. Queen of Wands. I was going to say that there's a woman that's actually doing this. The one that's doing the fucked up work is this woman, this Queen of Wands, this witch. She's the one that's doing the hoodoo. She goes to some type of church where this pastor tells them, oh, if somebody upsets you, if there's an adversary, if you see somebody using tarot cards or doing divination or working with herbs, go straight to using Psalm 109 on them, because the Bible says this, that you can't blah, blah, blah. The Bible pretty much says not to go to false prophets. All right. Those are people that their shit doesn't come true. Those are people that, like there's certain experiences in the Bible that define false prophets, people that are possessed, stuff like that. But like I said, God will put you in God will put people in every single type of position to be there to lure other people to going within and gaining an authentic connection, not one made through a book that a bunch of men from the past wrote, or maybe we don't even know who wrote the Bible for sure. Okay. So again, just know that all of this stuff we're talking about, you guys gaining you're figuring out what you're here to do, is what keeps you safe. You being your authentic self, who you truly are, you being a loving person, still being sympathetic and kind to other people, showing grace and mercy when you feel like you should show grace and mercy. And when you feel like you need to be tough, then be tough. Don't let this person make you feel bad because you don't fit the mold that some weird ass people that we do not know today, that we cannot ask about what they wrote and stuff like that, that are not here. Like, I'm sorry, but it's something of the past, and this person is trying to use it in a very abusive way, and they've been instructed to do this by people in their life that are very, very judgmental, that judge everybody to the same type of mold, basically, that they've created, because this is the only way that they can dominate and control other people, is if they fit into this mold. But this Queen of Wands is a witch, and they practice hoodoo, and they also go to Christianity, and so they are split. They're splitting their energy. Pick a side. I mean, literally. Would Jesus go around using Psalm 109? No, I don't think that Jesus would ever do that. Trying to make people's children homeless and shit like that, and vagabonds, and no, stop it. So this is why I feel like, this is all coming up so that we can heal and move forward. You just need to understand that you basically, look at all the preachers who are falling from grace. Exactly. That you're here inspiring these people who are very bound and boxed in the way that they think and perceive, and they're judging other people and trying to punish other people instead of allowing God or the universe, which is what I would say universal law punishes people, but instead of allowing things to happen naturally, this person is trying to cause God to look at you in a way that they look at you, and God looks through the lens of unconditional love, compassion, joy, and peace. And so that's why the truth of God, doing the God technique, where you raise into looking out through the eyes of God, you can see that's the way that God views everything, is through love. Ace of Swords, you're protected. God protects you. You have a real organic, natural, inner divine connection. This person does not have anything like that going on within them, and they also don't have intuition, because this person is mistaking you for being a false prophet when you're not, okay? Or being a whatever they're trying to label you as they do this other closed practice of hoodoo using the Bible and African stuff, whatever, okay? Like whatever the thing said, when using it in conjunction with one another. And this person has this type of skin color. This is what I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, they could have a connection to these deities, but they don't. They're just trying to pick up something and use it because they don't like that you do have an authentic connection. Yeah, the Sun. This person is afraid to heal, and they see you going on a healing journey. So you're triggering them, which is a good thing, because these people need to move forward with their lives. And they need to stop trying to call down judgment on you when you've not done anything to them, okay? This person created a bunch of spiritual warfare for many, many people because they wanted to practice magic and then also practice Bible. And they've hurt a lot of people. This Queen of Wands has hurt a lot of people, a lot. And so they don't understand why they're broke is because they've hurt a lot of people. Why they are not getting their desires granted is because they have hurt and harmed a lot of people, and they have no intention of repenting and stopping. Okay, there's one thing to repent and just admit that you made a mistake, which we all make mistakes, but it's another thing to actually change your ways. There's a lot of people that live their life in the way of, oh, I'll just repent and then I'll be weak and I'll sin again. Like that's what they, instead of just like eradicating the bad behavior, whatever they're calling the sin, instead of just changing their ways, because it's much harder to change your way, especially if it comes to like being like, this is just an example, but somebody being like an alcoholic, and once they get a drink in their system, they become violent. You know what I mean? Alcohol is a spirit, it's a body eating demon. And so like letting that take over and then repenting for that, but then needing to go get a drink. This is the type of energy that this person is on. And that's just like something I could come up with an example, but that's what they're doing with this type of behavior of using the Bible to try to hurt and harm and block other people. And this person, you're not in alignment to receive no punishment from the divine. This person is in the Five of Pentacles because of the practice that they're doing. So people can keep doing this stupid shit, but I will tell you that it's like, it's been rewritten so many times, you're right, so that it all fits the same agenda, and leaving out so many important parts of it. Literally, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene is probably the most important piece that was not included in the Bible because it wasn't found till recently. The Five of Pentacles, this is being casted away. This is what this person was trying to do to you, disable you, get you casted away, get a spiritual group to attack you. And, you know, this person now feels like they're up under attack and they're blaming you like you're doing spiritual warfare to them. But all you have done is remain protected by God. You're getting justice for this because this person was messing with the outcome of your destiny by trying to read that psalm over your life and gain whatever they thought they were going to gain because and this person, there's nothing wrong with them on the outside. I think this person could be racist or something weird, but they definitely don't like you because you're more attractive. This person sees you as more attractive, but they also see them as being the ultimate best thing in the world. This person's very conceited. They don't have any humbleness in them. This is why this person's about to be majorly humbled, and they're in the Five of Pentacles. Death. This is because they're trying to create a death, an unnatural death is going to come for us all at one point, and it's not a scary negative thing. Usually the things that happen before death are more painful than actual death. Okay, death is a peaceful transition, and death doesn't always mean a physical death. It could just mean an ending, but this person has had a physical ending to their living situation and to them being shielded by whatever this church, religion's prayer group, whatever nonsense this is that they do. Or it could be hoodoo group. I don't know what it is. I don't know if people gather together to do hoodoo or if it's an individual practice, but I do get that this person is waiting for death to come for you, and it's not. It's coming for them. It's caused a permanent ending to where they live. This person is now experiencing the same effects of that stupid prayer or that stupid psalm. And I love the book of Psalms. I'm actually writing a book about how to use the book of Psalms for healing, kind of like hoodoo, but it has nothing to do with African tradition. It has to do with affirmation and understanding what the different verses of the Psalms mean and what they can be used for. But this person is straight up abusing it. They're really abusing it. And they don't understand that why they're experiencing these endings. It's not because you're doing anything to them. It's because the effects of what they've already done to many other people, not just you, many people. This person has caused a lot of people to become homeless. Okay. They've caused a lot of people to lose their jobs, lose their careers. This person has walked through life literally not getting hit with their own karma until right now. And you are the final straw for God, the Holy Spirit, and the universe. You were the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to this person getting their karma. So now they feel like they're in a spiritual war, but they started this from the beginning, and you have never fought this person back. And again, when this person talks ill on you, you're not there to defend yourself. And I feel like their perspective was created by a man. It was created by a man that wanted to control and dominate others, okay, especially women. So that's what I feel. I feel like this person, they're even being judged by their own religion and their own institution. This is an ending to this person trying to bring a court case or a legal dispute to you over you having a home or a place to live. This person wanted you exactly like that prayer said, a vagabond, not able to have clothing, not able to have food, not able to have safety, protection, prosperity, abundance, any type of blessing. They wanted you homeless, moving, eating out of trash cans, moving from place to place. That's the energy that they're in. Like this is the energy that this person is in. Why they're about to be judged so harshly by the universe, by everything in creation, is because they've been causing so much sorrow, suffering, and negativity for others, and they have not once ever been sorry for hurting another person. This person believes that they were right to attack and violently persecute any person that doesn't fit into the mold that their Bible says or their mind created. Okay? Very foolish behavior to try to think that everybody is going to be exactly the same. This person saw something in you that they do not have within them, and they got angry about it. They got pissed. It triggered them. And they foolishly thought that they could take you to court, sue you, break a contract, do some really illegal, spiritually illegal and physically illegal, because it should be illegal to read Psalm 109 on somebody that you just are triggered by. Like, you didn't take this person's man. You didn't get them fired from their job. You were not a part of them losing their home. You have not been around this person for a very long time. This person could have even come across you through the internet, and they felt the need to just wham, slam you, like just take you the fuck out for that. No, you're getting justice. You're getting justice for every person that this person destroyed, everybody else's lives that this person destroyed. You are getting justice for those people as well. And it's going to be very severe for these people. They're being taken. I'm getting that this is mostly spiritual court, but they could literally be being sued because they thought that they were going to be able to strip something from you just because of either your skin color or because of, you know, your belief system or your abilities or your attractiveness. Like there's many things about you that this person feels is a problem. Okay. And who is it a problem? All these people have to do is stop looking at you and look at themselves. Okay. Anytime that we feel triggered by another person, it's not that other person that's the problem. It's us. And we need to go in with heal that trigger and move the F forward and then not draw in people that trigger us. Okay. But know that every time that you do draw in somebody that triggers you, it is a blessing because it gives you an opportunity to heal and spiritually grow and to release a belief that was no longer serving you. Judging other people is not going to ever bring a good outcome. It's not our job to judge people. Please don't even judge yourself. Allow the universe, God, the Holy Spirit, and the law of karma and the way that things are naturally created to do what it needs to do. And if you have to call for judgment, that's not you judging somebody. That's you asking a higher power to assess. You can look at a judgment as discernment, assessing, discern the situation. And so don't be, this person is misusing judgment and they feel like they have the personal right to judge you because of their personal belief. I don't think that people have that. I think that the universe does, though. The universe takes accountability. It takes into account how many people this person's destroyed with their stupid shit. Literally. 3 of Cups. This person does not want you going to a wedding. They don't want you having a celebration. They don't want you having a bar mitzvah. Is that what it's called? Bar mitzvah. They don't want you having a celebration. They don't want you having, what are those things when you're pregnant? Not a baby ceremony. Baby shower. They don't want you having a baby shower. This person is like literally trying to block any type of celebration where you could come together with like-minded people and be supported. That's what they don't want. They are afraid of you having a good harvest and them not being able to destroy that because that's what they wanted to do. This person never would have thought that you were protected because they think that they're better than you. Point blank, period. This person is fake as fuck. They practice hoodoo, but then they go to church as well. And there's nothing wrong with practicing hoodoo or going to church. But if you're cursing other people and using it to hurt and harm people, and you're outsourcing to things outside of yourself to do that and trying to manipulate God's creation, nah, that's not cool. That's one thing that's not acceptable. And this person is about to find that out, like firsthand. I'm also getting that, you know, you have a good community backing you, and this person wants to destroy that. They don't want you making any traction online or being seen. God is going to light you up, literally, so that you can be seen by the people that need to see you. Ace of Pentacles. This person is completely concerned with you having a home, having money to pay for a home, having a place to live. They feel like you deserve to be homeless without any type of celebration, without going through any type of life passage, and without being supported by God. That's what they feel. That's truly what they believe, but that is not actually accurate because you have not done anything to deserve that. That is why you still have the Ace of Pentacles and a good harvest, and you're popular, like literally. This person thought that their manipulation of other people's lives, they thought that that was more powerful than your organic connection to God, and that's where they fucked up, like literally. 8 of Pentacles. This person is judging you for whatever you want to do for work. You could be an artist. You could be a singer, a dancer, a performer, a comedian. You could be literally whatever this work is that you do. You could be a psychic. You could be a shaman, a Reiki healer, a quantum touch person. You could be somebody that is in a regular type of job, like working for the county or something. Whatever this is that you do for work, this person feels like you are unworthy of it. Okay. And that is really up to God. Okay. It's not up to this person. I feel like that, you know, that there's no get rich quick plan. You're always consistently working on yourself and working on whatever these projects are. This is why you're going to see fruit from them. God is going to ensure that you always have money coming in. And this person trying to block that, trying to stop that, and trying to limit your ability to access other people and have a good life, they are going to experience a horrible experience because of that. because they wanted to manipulate a system that they thought that they were in control of. And this person is about to find out that the universe showed them grace and mercy so many times that now the universe is done. And they're going to blame you and act like it's spiritual warfare when because they don't want to take accountability for the fact that they brought this shit upon themselves, which they really did. By trying to block your divine life purpose and your destiny and your path here to be of inspiration to others, to bring your energy to the world so that other people can also love you and join you and celebrate with you and unite with you. This person feeling the need to block that and to force you to fit into a box that they don't even fit into, that's delusion. That's not love. This person wants to be shown grace and mercy in their time of need because they're being casted away and have nowhere to live, but they were just spending all of their time not focusing on having a place to live, but focusing on destroying you and where you lived. Knight of Pentacles. This person could be subpoenaed to court soon. Like they have a lot more problems. This Knight of Pentacles energy is not a good energy for this person. There's going to be somebody bringing a bad message to them that they have to go to court, that they have to make a payment, that they owe, that they're not able to, whatever this is. If this person was in some type of binding contract, let's say that you like rent houses out to people. If this person broke a lease or whatever they did, because they did break some type of law, they're being subpoenaed to court by somebody that has to come right in randomly and subpoena people to court. That's their job, to serve people papers. So you could be getting somebody served, but you don't have to be. This person is just getting served papers for because they have a lot of negative karma to answer for hurting a lot of different people. And so that's why I feel like you just have to understand that you are doing the right thing. You're not doing anything that harms anybody else. Okay? You're not out here giving bad advice. You're not telling people to go to other sources like whatever, demons or deities or whatever. You're not outsourcing anybody to do any type of curses on people. You're not doing anything like that. There's nothing that I can see here that would make you in alignment with this amount of suffering that this person has tried to cause. There's like literally nothing that you have done. I don't see anything that you've done. Knight of Wands. This person has a lot of people that they sleep with as well. They're very promiscuous, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they think that you are this way as well. This is why people should stop judging a book by its cover. Literally, because they don't know you. This person does not know you like that. They came across you through the internet, through a friend, through some other type of way, work, whatever, and this is why they're like this, because they don't actually know anything about you. They don't realize that you guys are more celibate than anything. You're not promiscuous people. This Knight of Wands is very promiscuous, though. This Queen of Wands is very promiscuous. And, you know, they want to judge everybody to a standard that they can't even uphold. 10 of Swords. These people are coming into 10 of Swords, this person. Whether this woman knows it or not, she is about to be put in the 10 of Swords. She will be acting like a victim. She's already being like, oh, you victimized me and blah, blah, blah. When you didn't do anything to her, the only thing that happened is you were protected. This person's shit backfired on them because you're protected and you're not deserving of Psalm 109. That's something that you would use against somebody that is a rapist or unaliver or something just really horrible. I can't even think of a circumstance that would be like acceptable to use that shit. Seriously, it's inappropriate. Completely inappropriate to think that this person thought God would take their side over yours because they judged you and they misjudged you. And this person is not sorry for misjudging you. That's why they're in the 10 of Swords. It's not like they made a misjudgment and repented. This person is still prideful. 6 of Wands, because they see you getting public fame, success, recognition, rewards. And everybody who works a job deserves to get paid. Why does this person think that because you're doing some type of work that they deem is inappropriate, that you don't need to get paid for that you should just labor in service and be a fucking slave? This stupid white ass bitch needs to seriously go choke on her own fucking shit. Seriously. She needs to eat every word that she ever spoke about you. This person's a fucking fool. They see you being successful and they feel like that is unacceptable and that you need to be severely punished for that and made homeless and all of this other crazy shit. And that's why this person is suffering. Okay. Just know that it's not anything that you even did. You are triggering this person to go within and heal and look at their belief system, but they don't want to do that. And this person needs to be looking at to see what's coming for them instead of looking into your life and being a nosy little bitch, like a nosy little spy bitch. Five of Swords. Yeah, this person is trying to keep themselves safe by stabbing you in the back. And that is not, this person started a war with you and had no reason to do it. This is why their ancestors do not back this shit. This is why these African deities are not doing anything, because they know that this person likes to go around starting wars with people, creating a bunch of spiritual warfare without having any fucking reason to do so. There's no actual wrong that needs to be right. Like literally, you're over here getting your wishes fulfilled. That is enough to provoke this person to try to curse you. Like, that's pathetic. I don't like people that are like that. When I see people doing good, I'm happy for them, but my gift shows me the ability to see everybody's troubles. So I don't look at people and feel like, oh, they're doing better than me. Oh, they're prettier, they're younger, they're this. I see what everybody goes through. And so I do not feel that way about other people, like that they need to be destroyed because they're this or they're that. And if I were to feel jealous about something, I would immediately check myself, because that is not me. That's not normal. So it's like, I feel like it's unnatural and it's weird. And if you were to understand everybody else's trauma, if this person were to understand your trauma and the things that you've been through and actually knew you on a spiritual level, they would not feel the need to do this type of behavior. 10 of Wands, because they're the ones carrying the burden at the end of the day. This person does not have a place to live. They could be getting a subpoena to court, and what is it called when you get kicked out of a house? Legally. It starts with an E, doesn't it? Well, whatever it's called when you get kicked out, you're like removed, physically removed from a location. This person maybe hasn't paid their rent. I don't know what their problem is, but they are getting bad luck and bad karma because of the people that they hurt. 10 of Cups. Yeah, they see you with this happy life, happy family, moving forward, getting to have joyful days, having mental health, having physical beauty, having attractiveness, everything that this person wants. This person's not ugly. They're ugly on the inside, but their outsides are not bad. I don't know why they're comparing themselves like this and acting like this, but yeah, this is a time for you to have great friends and great relationships. And this person is just pissed off because their time for being on top, which them being on top was dominating and hurting and harming others. Their time evicted. Thank you. Thank you so much, Fashionista. Yeah, their time is over. They're being evicted. The Hierophant. If this person owns a store or anything like that, they're being kicked out of whatever this working space is. There is a Hierophant, some type of judge that's basically saying, no, you owe too much and whatever you're doing is not good. We don't want you here. That this person's being rejected by a group of people. They could have to just go to court. I feel like they're going to go to court and they're going to try to blame you in some type of way, and it's not going to be accepted because you have nothing to do with this person. So they can't just continue to project everything on everybody else. Yeah, the Hermit. Because I feel like whoever this person slanders you to knows that you're a hermit and that you're not sleeping around, you're not doing whatever this person is saying that you're doing. That's so bad. And if it is something like pulling cards or being psychic or being intuitive or being an empath or being a starseed, what the fuck is this person going to do about it? God created you this way. Maybe she needs to go ask God why God created you this way and why you don't fit into the Bible's box of how people should be. Instead of trying to destroy you and thinking that she has the right to do that with whatever methods of manipulation she wants to use at the time, like moon magic, this person is suffering because they tried to dominate and control everyone around them, and they were being tested. This was the straw that broke the camel's back with this person. So just know that moving forward, release these types of people. Do not fear people that are like this. Do not fear people that try to use the fucking Bible in a negative way. Those people will eventually eat every stupid word that they said. They will go through the same circumstances they wanted for another. Knight of Cups. This person is acting like you are openly sleeping with a bunch of people when they are. Like, promiscuous is what it is. They wanted to send one of these people that this Queen of Wands sleeps with wanted to send one of these people in to try to bait switch you, like bait you into some type of fucked up situation so that yeah, no, absolutely not. Stupid weirdo. So just remember, you guys, that when you go within, you will always find the answer. This person they consider themselves to be in competition with you. Like I said, usually a competition has some type of timeline, like the beginning of a game and then the end of a game, or the beginning of a season, the end of a season, or like at the Olympics. This person feels eternally in competition with you. Their version of competition does not have any end, and it's based off of greed and lust and feeling like they need to control and dominate other people. So it's not actually real competition. All right, what else do we need to know before we go? Okay, just know that this person is experiencing bad luck. They're going to be blaming you, but you don't have anything to do with it. So just release whatever was within you that drew this person in. It could be a fear of being judged, or it could be that you drew this person in because this person was going to help you get into alignment with what you're actually here to do. Those are the two reasons that I'm picking up. But, you're not actually being judged by the universe because you've not done anything. Your words, thoughts, and beliefs do not align with Psalm 109. You're not in alignment with what they were trying to create. So they've got to basically, this person is going to be judged the same way that they tried to judge you. And they're actually guilty for a bunch of shit, so they might want to be mindful about judging others. Yeah, this person is in trouble with the police. Okay? They were competing with you and creating immoral, illegal things to try to discredit you or make you not able to be seen or heard, or trying to get you locked up. And that is not cool. Trying to use fucking hoodoo, any type of witchcraft practice to try to enslave or imprison somebody falsely, it's gonna backfire in the year of 2026. Even in the year of 2025, this shit did not work. Okay, you're still getting your wishes fulfilled. This is like basically pointless. It's a bunch of wasted energy. They could have spent their time working on themselves and they would be in a different position than they are now. But because they wanted to destroy everything in your life, this person is experiencing that same destruction because that's what they called upon. They wanted God to be a judging, wrathful, evil God that hurts and punishes people. And that's what they're experiencing in their own creation. Page of Wands. This person, I don't know, for some of you, you could have had a child with this person. For some of you, this person just has a child out of wedlock, which I don't think is a sin, but the Bible says, you know what I'm saying? Like, this person has a lot of things that they're trying to cover up that they've done in the past. With going to church, they think that they're forgiven just by going to a church service to some crooked ass person. No, I'm sorry. That's not how karma and universal law works. This person's not sorry. They also for something going on with their child. What is that about before we go? Why is this person, they're trying to have you judge something about their child. I don't think that you know this person's kid. And even if you did, if you were a step parent to this person's kid, you never did anything to them. This person is wanting you judged over a relationship that you either used to have or something like that. Or this could be a relationship. I don't know what this, can I get some clarification on what this is with the child and the judgment? Why is this, maybe if this is an ex-baby mama, they want more money or something. But whatever this is, they're trying to judge you because of something that's going on with their child that has nothing to do with you. The courts are not going to look at it this way. This person is a bad parent. Okay? They're a bad parent, point blank, period. They shouldn't be raising anybody. And the courts are not going to just be like, oh, you needed to provide for your child, so you tried to kill another person. Or you tried to hack their phone. You tried to blah, 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 blah. This person was trying to bring up some type of false charge. They could have even tried to create something like false corn on you and put that on the internet. Like I said, people that come forward and are like, oh, I seen you in a corn video. I seen you this. Bitch, tell me the fucking tattoos that I have on my body then, since you know me. Because people don't know you. This is what I'm saying. This person's making this shit the fuck up. They send in a bunch of goons to do this dumb shit, and it always backfires on them. God immediately, cuts this person off. in an aspect in their life, and they're looking at it as you attacking them back, but you're not even doing that. You're just standing up for yourself. Temperance. Archangel Michael whoops this person's ass on a day-to-day basis, you know. Yes, she was trying to make her child is your ex-husband's child. Strange husband was gay. So exactly. This is what, and blaming you. What the fuck do you have to even do with that? It's crazy. But yeah, you're not going to be held responsible in a court of law for something that is not even happening. You never abused this person's child. And they're going to be found lying under oath, like, and they're going to be put in jail for that. This Queen of Wands, that's what I see happening to them. Four of Cups. They did this shit because they saw you and they were bored with their own life. This person has no interest in the things that would actually be good for them. They wanted to pursue your path, and this is why they're being shut down. Because what's for you is not for this person. You're over here in the Wheel of Fortune doing the right thing. Archangel Michael is protecting your fate and your destiny. You don't have anything to worry about when it comes to this person. Okay, and their child and whatever was going on with that. You have nothing to do with that. The courts know that. This person's just being delusional, and they want God to judge you, and God's not judging you because that is not needed. And so you just have to understand that God does not judge like that. God will sit around. The energy of God, love, joy, and peace will sit around forever, for fucking ever, because it's a timeless energy, and wait for people to go within. But yeah, this is basically, yeah, you are a divine being. You are protected. Your children are protected. Your legacy is protection. Your legacy is protection. Wow. Your life is protected. Your children are protected. Your gifts and abilities are protected. Your job also protected. The work you do protected. This new love union coming in protected. Okay, so just know that people are going to rear their ugly heads up anytime they see you get a blessing, but they don't understand that you did all of the work and had to be in alignment to even receive the blessing. And that's basically what I see happening here. You guys are figuring out who you are, why you're here, what you're here to do, and you're actively working on yourselves. This is why you're seeing positive progress. This is why God's got your back. The divine realm is not going to abandon you just because somebody else has an opinion, somebody else that thinks that their skin color makes them better. I fucking highly doubt it and completely disagree with that shit, okay? I don't think that skin color has anything to do with it. I think who you are as a person, what you do to others, and how you treat yourself, that's what I think is important. And I don't think that skin color or any other culture thing is more important than who you are as a soul, like who you are, how you treat other people, how you love yourself, what you do with your time here. That's what I think is important, but that's just my opinion. I feel like people that want you to be fitting into the box that another human molded with their beliefs from the past, and we don't know those people now to ask them about what they went through. I feel like that's delusion, and this person doesn't fit that mold themselves. So how are they going to try to hold you, another person, another human, accountable for not being what they are also not? So this person's not an intuitive, but they are a judgmental bitch. Like, they literally tried to use that psalm against you. Yeah, and they're acting like them preserving themselves means that they have to destroy you. You don't have to gain self-preservation. You don't have to destroy another living being. All you have to do is work on preserving yourself, and that doesn't include destroying others. So just know that you guys are protected from this weird Caucasian person, okay, from the Caucasus Mountains. This is an end in the spiritual warfare they were bringing against you, and whatever confirmation, whatever dumb energy you were having to deal with. All right. I'm going to be going to my other channel right after this. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. I'm so proud of you. Remember the 2 books that are in the description box below. The first one is The Truth of God by Michael STEADMAN. It's got, expectations and control. It's got all of these techniques that are so important to understand your spiritual journey. The Joy versus Anger develops a yes and no answering system with spirit so that you can get an immediate answer back and not have to wait. The next one is the God conscious technique, where you raise into your higher self so you can look out through the eyes of source and see things from a bigger picture. And the other one is the mind technique, how to be clear as well. The mind technique helps you locate the thoughts and beliefs and storylines that are not serving you so that you can use your mind as the tool that it's supposed to be and release those beliefs. Okay. And then for those of you that want to learn to read your own tarot cards, I've written a book called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, and it works with the Rider-Waite Tarot, this original deck. And that it's very cheap. You can get online for like $6 or $7, but it has different tarot card spreads for each of the major arcana cards, which are the major transition cards. And so basically when you're pulling a card, like the Chariot, position 1, the Star Crown, this card position shows you the higher intellect. If you are compatible to work in law enforcement or as a detective, spy, CIA agent, or FBI agent or other informant, you will pull the Chariot card for this position. So it basically guides you so that you can get double confirmations. It says this position can reveal to you the star of destiny that is guiding you towards your greatest soul mission and divine light. What spiritual power and authority that you have or hold may come through the card for this position. So it's got different tarot card spreads, and then it's got a spell that helps you. You just basically work with the card that is already exists in the deck, the Chariot spell to remove obstacles. So this is going to definitely help you. Okay, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's see. Do I want to use this deck? Which deck is it? It's this one. Wow, I have not looked at this deck in forever. Okay, Fashionista, give me 1 second. I will be right back. make a decision on what she wants to do, because I feel like Okay. Sorry about that. So I was talking with the other psychic and about this person, and we look at compatibility when it comes to relationships on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like the worst compatibility, 10 being like the best. And we see that this person's at a 5. And when we look at like how relationships basically occur, we can look and see like if there is, sometimes people will be like 5 is not bad. 5 is probably one of the highest compatibles that you've ever had. However, what we're seeing is that there's one, we can look at incidences like sometimes relationships will have a lot of little karma things that go on that could make you unhappy, or it's like shock therapy. It just causes you to work on an issue. What I'm seeing is that there's one big issue with this person. And the issue is something that you need to heal within or just release. Yeah, 5 out of 10. Because what's making it a 5, fashionista, is whatever this issue is that you're feeling with this person. So when I was talking to the other psychic, I was like, okay, so it's making it a 5. If she was able to work through the issue and heal it, what would the number shift to? And we saw that it would go to like a 7. And then if you continue to heal, it would continue to go up. But it would cause you to basically work on an issue, okay? Whatever this is that you feel like is not perfect about this person. So then I asked another question. I was like, okay, so if she heals this issue and she chooses not to go through with this one relationship because of that issue, would somebody come in that would be much higher and not have that issue? And I got that, yes, somebody else would come in. So I'm not telling you not to do the relationship, but whatever this issue is that you're picking up on, whatever the one thing, because I got that it was one thing that is not perfect about this person, whatever that is, if you could heal and release that, you do have the ability. Yeah, we are all our own issues almost all of the time, but there's something there. I don't know what it is about this person, but there is something that is a major thing that they're either going through or something that they've been through. And it's yeah, so it's not you being the issue, but there is something that you're going to have an issue with this person, is what I'm picking up on. And so healing whatever that is within you and releasing the beliefs behind it. I don't know if it's something like this person has a crazy ex or whatever it is, but there will be something. And the thing is that if you decide to go through with this relationship, like I was saying, you could heal the issue and not let that issue bother you. But some relationships, people come with their own conditions and situations. So there may be a situationship that this person has. It could be like a child. It could be something other than that. It could be something with their job. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think you know what it is. I think that you already have an idea what it is about this person. And so what I'm getting is that if you heal that you having an issue with it, and I look at it this way, like I stayed with a person that was very low compatibility with me, and they had so many issues going on with them. They had so many personal problems. And when I figured out that I needed to love myself and heal those issues that person was having and not take that person's problems and put it onto my plate, then I was able to deal with my life. And then I ended up leaving that person, and I drew in somebody that didn't have any of those really just like shock therapy conditions. No crazy ex, no kids, no drama, no family problems, like no addiction problems, all that stuff went away. So yeah, so I was guided to get the twin flame ascension, which is showing me that you're basically working towards a higher relationship. And 5, you've been with people that are like 3s and 2s. So 5 is actually an improvement. It's a big improvement. He asked you a question about a strip club and that threw you off. Okay. where you wanted to cut him off. Then he clarified that he was not into strip clubs, but you were not buying it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, that could be, maybe he's into a lifestyle of still, I don't want to say it's partying, but still, well, he definitely has a different spiritual journey as far as becoming enlightened. This person does. I just pulled the Queen card and Divine Feminine. And so I think that whatever that energy is, maybe he watches corn. There might be something with that. And that would be something that you have a problem with. Is that something that this person would be able to stop? I think that you healing whatever that is going to be the easiest thing. And, you know, if you feel a lot of chemistry with this person, still go out with them. I'm not getting that this person's a danger or anything like that. But, yeah, they might have gone to strip clubs in the past. They might have gambled or, you know, done some types of behaviors that we would deem not healthy. But I don't think that this person's going to hurt you or anything. I don't know why he would ask you about going to did he like invite you to a strip club or asked if you worked in one or something? And then, yeah, I think you have a problem with people lying to you, which it is a problem. This shit annoys the crap out of me, especially because people don't have to lie to us. They could literally just tell the truth and we would be like, okay, we would accept people for who they are. But, I don't get that this person is like really unfaithful or anything. I just get that you may have an issue with them being, maybe it's like overly sexual or it's some type of doing something to excess. That's why I was like feeling like kind of like gambling, but not gambling. It's something like that they may be into. But that doesn't mean that this person can't change. So Queen Divine Feminine, it says, when the Queen appears, it represents your ability to receive abundance in all areas of your life. You're moving your crown from your head to your heart, asking for assistance. Oh, that's so important. The crown from your head to your heart, that's making peace with where you are. I do feel like this person might be talking to more than one person, though. So if you decide to move forward with them, you know, go out with them and see how it feels. But know that if there's certain things that you just would not be able to tolerate, then heal whatever that is that drew that situation in. And it could just be being triggered by corn or people watching corn. It could literally be that. But what I'm getting here is that asking for assistance helps you to open up and express your desires without the need to apologize for who you truly are, which is where you want to meet people at, which is who they truly are. And, you know, you are very intuitive. You have a problem with people trying to cover up who they are. And so this is bringing balance into your inner masculine and inner feminine roles. As you expand your emotional range, you will integrate with depths of your true self. Tune into your feelings on a regular basis and listen to your intuition, because your intuition will tell you everything that you need to know every time you communicate with this person. I do feel like this person could have a communication block. They could have been in a toxic relationship in the past where communication was not a fluid thing, and you're a much more clear communicator than they are. Yeah, once you sense lies, it's a wrap. Exactly. Yeah. So this is telling me that this will help you stay in a receptive mode, because you want to be open to receiving the divine timing and the support. And so this is, you know, you being in your divine feminine energy is a very good thing. It's extremely necessary. This is also showing, it says, the more that you come into acceptance of who you are, the more compassion you will have for yourself and others, especially your twin flame. As you heal your inner divine feminine wounds, you become more sensitive to your individual needs and experience greater compassion. As you strengthen your voice by expressing yourself, your beloved will begin expressing themselves without fear-based limitations. So that's literally verbatim talking about what we were just talking about. And men are going to be men, but at the same time, there's somebody out there that will be completely honest with you, that will not, like, Like, you don't want somebody that has to be a fixer upper, and not that this person is, but if there's things that they need to, that would have to be changed for you to be able to accept them, then that's something to look at right there, because we can't really change other people. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is 7-7, heal abandonment, time to forgive. And what were we talking about in the basic overall thing about love for you was the feeling of abandonment through that Anunnaki experience. Interesting. So yeah, healing abandonment. Wow. It just threw it right in my face right there, because that's definitely something that I feel like I need to work on as well. It says you have experienced abandonment in multiple lifetimes. This is verbatim confirming what we were just talking about. Oh my gosh, wounded stories are subconsciously causing you intense soul pain that makes you easily triggered when you experience rejection or unrequited love. Unrequited love is when you love somebody and you feel like they don't love you back. That's what that means. It says this card implies that you need to heal traumatic experiences and the influence of unhealthy relationships. You have been abandoning your own needs, which is the same as not loving yourself. You will move beyond the fear of abandonment when you realize that you caused yourself this pain. That's why I was saying going within and healing, because you've separated from yourself. Okay, because we are creating our realities with our thoughts and our beliefs. This situation being pulled in with people not being honest with you, it is going to be so good for you to heal that issue, and everything that we're talking about with abandonment and fear and death and loss and all of that. It's going to be so important so that the person that you pull in will not trigger you, because like I said, this person, their one big issue could be that they are not truthful. They've never been somebody that's 100% truthful, because they've never been allowed to be themselves, which is not, that's not that person's fault, but that's a trait that they possess. And so that's maybe something that you have a long-term issue with. That's what's causing it to be a 5. This is also talking about it's time to forgive yourself for not standing up, showing up, or speaking up for your need to be heard, loved, or respected by others. You were taught that to experience love, you must earn the love you seek. That's totally not true. You're totally worthy and deserving of love just the way that you are. You don't need to do anything to be loved, literally. This produces a need for approval and creates feelings of rejection and feeling left out or left behind, causing you to justify your actions. Letting go of your old identity is painful because you experience the death of your former self as patterns. But like I said, the pattern that your Anunnaki, African American Anunnaki ancestor was saying was that this pattern, this is what needs to be healed for you to have the most compatible relationship in this lifetime. And it's something that's possible for you. It's 100% possible. You can absolutely do this. I know you're going to, literally. It says, letting go of your old identity is only painful because you experience the death of your former self and patterns, which can be actually very liberating. Yet it's necessary for you to create space for your new identity. I love that. Oh my gosh. That was basically, I love that book and these cards. I have not really used these cards very often. I've probably used this deck maybe 3 times. So yeah, 8-8, which is all about divine abundance. You come with the blessings, literally. And then healing this abandonment is going to be a major thing. The chosen one, fast track to ascension. This is your path. I really like this picture. I think that this is cool. Look at all of those planets that you've been on. I look at these as like planets. Like, this is you going through an ascension. You have been here so many freaking times. Like, not just on this planet, but in this universe. Wow. 1-1, the chosen one. I love it. My gosh, that's so dope. And okay, so you have to understand that this person is not chosen, not the way that you are. And so that could be another inconsistency, is that maybe they're not spiritual. Maybe they don't have, maybe they have a viewed perception on spirituality because they were raised in like religion, or they had a religious upbringing. Which again, all of these things are not their fault, but at the same time, you want the most compatible person. So if you heal these issues, you know, it could give the opportunity for this person to change, which would bring their compatibility up to a 7. Fast track to ascension. You are on it, literally. It says your soul has been on a lifelong quest to find real love with a burning desire to align with your divine counterpart, your exact mirror who reflects your weaknesses and your strengths to enable growth. This card indicates you have been searching for true love outside of yourself, which is pulling you out of alignment with your authentic truth. When the chosen one appears, it serves as a reminder that on a higher plane, you are prearranged with your twin flame to each other to become whole within. That is true. That's 100% true. I've experienced it. It says this sacred agreement puts you both on a fast track to ascension for the purpose of creating a loving relationship with yourself first, followed by healthy relationships with others. The fastest way to align with your other half is to heal your heart, where you discover the treasure of true love for yourself. Focus on healing your abandonment wounds. Whoa, I am so sorry, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It just keeps pushing this abandonment wound right in your face. Like, and so I don't mean to be triggering you, but I want you to be able to heal. The cards are literally double confirming the same wound. And so that's going to be, and abandonment is just it's over and over again. It's a big thing. It really is. It says, stop searching outside of yourself for true happiness. Let go of old stories, past programming, and release doubts that you will experience great loves. Literally, you are here to experience great love, but it's going to start with you loving yourself. Your twin flame is teaching you that the one you are searching for is you. Oh my God. Oh my God, I could cry. That is like seriously so beautiful. Yeah, you being chosen is very important when it comes to your love life, because the person that's meant to be with you will be on this same fast track. And like I said, it's not that this person that you've met they're literally a stepping stone. This is helping you learn about the process of healing so that you can draw in somebody that is going to be even better. And you could even go forward with this relationship and pursue it, and then still decide to end up getting somebody that's better. Because again, like I said, when I stopped taking other people's problems onto my own plate and I worked on my own stuff, I was able to heal, and I pulled in somebody that was really good. 4-4, protection, staying grounded. Interesting. It says the generator. I love that. Staying grounded. It's an important thing to stay grounded. And, actively, when we're working on that, things become a little bit easier. But sometimes when we forget that we're still a part of the earth, we can just be disconnected. And it's not that we're spiritually disconnected ever, but we could just be disconnected from our own truth. So 4-4, staying grounded, the generator, staying grounded. Your energetic vibration is elevating, so it is important that you stay grounded. As you maneuver through life's situation, collecting soul fragments along the way, which is part of this healing abandonment. Oh my gosh, shamanism, soul retrieval, reuniting with the parts of yourself that have been hurt and felt abandoned, not just in this lifetime, but other lifetimes, is going to empower you to draw in the person that is actually in alignment with you 100%. It says that staying centered and harnessing the power that you have to generate high frequency energy, which is used for a greater purpose. That's what you're here to do. The generator card indicates that your inner masculine needs to stand up, speak up, and show up for your inner feminine desires. This will help you stay empowered while remaining in balance. Feeling secure from within will attract the energetic presence of your divine masculine's energy and open you up to receiving their support in your physical world. Their magnetic presence will provide a strong foundation to bring your creative intelligence into reality. Practice finding stillness amid chaos. This helps your inner cosmos stay in harmonic balance. As you align with the essence of who you are becoming, connect with nature, walk barefoot in the grass, practice visualization to anchor your inner light into Mother Earth, and meditate on a regular basis. That's in general, that would help anybody, but I feel like you are on a very fast path, like, a very fast track. Yeah, your speed of going through things in life, like you go through things a lot faster. So let's get one more. This is going to help you heal and still, use your intuition, what you feel that you want to do with this person. But definitely the universe is showing you in multiple ways the wounds that need to be worked on. And I know that you can do this. I know that you can heal it, and you can Karmic purge, mirror reflections. Wow, I know that you can purge this out of you, and then it will not affect you in the future. And it could even change the circumstance that's already existed. But we both felt somebody, like somebody not having the background that enables them to not tell the truth all the time, or to not be honest with themselves. Because again, from their perspective, they have a hard time being honest with themselves. And so that's, I think, what your issue would be with this person. Karmic purge. Interesting. So staying grounded, the karmic purge, that's probably why that Anunnaki ancestor was coming through, because it's an old situation. Interesting. I would never have thought of it as karma, but I guess it is. They're considering it to be. See, they have technology that helps them understand these things on a level that we just don't possess, which I think is like totally not cool. But yeah, where is it? Karmic purge. It must be at the beginning. There it is. The karmic purge card shows up to reveal what you have not wanted to see in yourself. So again, it's reflecting, the universe is showing you basically with this, yeah, what you've not wanted to see in yourself through the mirror image of your other half. These reflections are surfacing to help you see all aspects of yourself. If you face your fear and confront yourself in the mirror, it helps to break old cycles of previous programming. Refusing to look within creates interference that pulls the two of you energetically and physically apart. Also, if you're dealing with somebody that does not look within, and that could very well be the case, like a big piece of the thing that would cause it to be a 5 could be that this person doesn't know anything about what we're talking about, how to look within or anything like that. Okay, so they maybe don't want to take responsibility for things. Again, everybody's going to have their different flaws. None of us are perfect. So it says, pay attention. It says, when your other half triggers you, pause and pay attention to your response before you act. Stop and ask yourself, how does my perception of them reflect my own weaknesses? Your answers reveal aspects of yourself that you may not have seen. It is crucial that you restore balance within yourself before your other half can find balance within. This is true. I know that sounds weird, but it's actually true, because I've done this and it's actually worked. This karmic purge will continue until you have both fully surrendered and willing to face the other in the mirror, where you both discover your true selves. Because again, twin flames are people that have come together into one body and had a lifetime. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Okay, let me get one more card. Voyager's Journey, past life healing. Wow, I feel like it's going to keep saying the same thing. Like, seriously. Oh my gosh. Okay. Past life healing. So that's important. It's very important. That's why the Anunnaki are coming forward to say that issue, and it's not something that you could have controlled in that lifetime. You just have to understand that. Healing everything that comes with feeling abandoned. They really should have numbered this book better, but that's okay. Let's see. I know this is going to talk about the journey that you're on, and how in alignment this other person is with it. Says you are waking up to past life memories that have been embedded within your soul's subconscious memory for many lifetimes. This self-realization process, very abstract picture with that, but this self-realization process helps you expand your awareness so you can learn more about who you are and what you came to accomplish in this lifetime. Taking a Voyager's journey transpires organically, but most often occurs after physical contact with your twin flame, which triggers the remembrance of ancient truth. It activates a purification process to unlock hidden memories and enable you to understand why you are experiencing particular feelings and emotions. This knowledge helps you to understand why you chose specific lessons to master in this life. This is just one of those lessons. Past life regression is a great tool to help purge previous soul trauma. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and awareness. As you put the pieces together, you will see the bigger picture. Your revelations will help you identify with your past pain and integrate it with your purpose so that you can help others more effectively, which I think is really important, because that's also part of your journey, is you healing and then being able to help others. I feel like this person is trustworthy. They're just not honest. So it's not that this person would do anything to hurt and harm you. It's just they're not honest with themselves. That's more what I pick up. Um, and they have a habit of not being honest with other people because they've never been allowed to be themselves. And maybe this person does watch porn. That was one thing that I saw that would be an issue in the relationship. You catching this person. One with self blossoming. Okay, this is going to be the last card that we do for this, but I really feel like that, yeah, they told me pull one more card because this oneness part is going to be what helps you heal. So, but it's not that this person's a bad person. Like, they're really not a bad person. I feel like they have ordinary, normal, I want to say vices because this person, I don't know if they've had sex in a while. To be quite honest, I don't blame them for watching porn, but that as a particular activity is not compatible with you in a relationship. You're not a corn watcher. So that's why I feel like that one thing, if this person would be able to walk away from doing that and be honest and not just do it behind the scenes or whatever other way. Corn is some type of addiction. Like, I really do feel that way, that it is some type of, there's more to it than just what people are seeing. And it's the way that it portrays women to be is not actually accurate to the way that women are. You know what I mean? Like, the way that a woman may act in a porn video is not how women act in real life. And that's where I feel like the delusion sets in. But this person's got to be willing to look at that and feel satisfied with the sexual relationship that you guys would have. That's what I'm getting. And not feeling that they need to outsource to masturbation techniques. And I don't mean to laugh about that, but it's such a common thing that people go through, and there's so much sin associated with it. I feel like it has more to do with succubus, incubus energy, harvesting energy. That's literally what I think corn does. But that's going to be probably the issue that you have with this person, is that they are not as spiritually advanced as you. They don't know about going within, and they are not actively loving themselves the way that they should be. Or the way that I shouldn't say should be, but the way that they will hopefully in the future. I mean, you could inspire this person to really heal and change. It says, becoming one with yourself is similar to a lotus flower blossoming. I love lotus flowers. Like, I love them so much. Everything about them is so cool. Lotus flowers, the coolest thing about them, I think, is that they blossom from the most toxic of situations. So they take the toxicity in the water and whatever situation, and then they create a beautiful flower. And it's a purification process. It's like mastering alchemy. So it says it takes a long time for the root system to cultivate and the universal intelligence within, which contains the blueprint for beauty that follows, displaying pure perfection. This card is an indication that your genius within is awakening and your brilliance is about to emerge. As you continue to tap into hidden power that is stored within your highest self, it provides you with an extraordinary wisdom. This is so true. It says your greatest potential is ready to bloom and illuminate your inner beauty, which will magnetically attract your heart's desires. This ever unfolding process is constructed so that you become one with yourself. Major lesson, major, not in like a teach you a lesson, but major learning lesson. Twin flame is all about becoming one with yourself. So I like it. It says being willing to see your true reflection in the mirror shown to you by others without judgment. Spend time with you, collect your fragments. Twice it's talked about soul fragments and soul retrieval. That is so important for you right now. And accept all of you, your life and the world. It will help you balance your ego and your heart. That was spoken about twice, about the crown going into the heart. The crown chakra is the ego. The heart is the emotional space. This is like reiterating that just over and over again. It says that, yeah, your ego and your heart being integrated. Show up as love, lead with love, and share love. Let your life be an example of passion and motion, making your possibilities endless. When you approach any situation with knowing that there is oneness and that whatever's this person's doing to trigger you or what's going on within them is something that just needs to be looked at and healed within you, you'll be able to get past the issue. I really feel like that is what you're here to do. And the reason that Anunnaki guide came forward was to warn you about this situation of feeling abandoned and to not carry these old wounds into a new relationship if you do decide to go into this relationship. But like what we were picking up on, it's not like this person is bad or there's anything bad about them. It's just they're at a different point in their spiritual development and they're not as advanced as you are. And so they don't know about like going within. They don't know about looking at the self and asking, why am I this way? Why am I doing this? Why can't I let go of this? And so that could be something that you teach them, but you just have to look at, do I want to be in a relationship with somebody that I have to teach to get on my level? Or do I want to heal these issues that this person's showing me and then basically draw in a new person that doesn't have to have me teach them? That would be on the list that you make, sweetie. Write that down. Somebody that I would say somebody that is on the same spiritual level as me, that I don't have to teach to become to go within. That would be a very important compatibility part to add to your list. Okay, I would add that. And then how it talked about abandonment and everything, I know you're going to be able to release the thoughts and beliefs. Okay, good. I love you so much. You guys have a wonderful evening. And I'm going to go to the other platform. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay. Thank you for your donations, Fashionista. I loved answering your questions. Okay. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.